Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. As part of a big news today, we'll be discussing a very interesting topic developing in the northeastern sector with regards to Assam and Meghalaya. But before we begin, as always, we are available on Telegram, so do download the app via the QR code given here, the link in the description below. And on 26th November, we have an important workshop planned for you with regards to 5 ways to stay ahead of your competition. And you can register for this webinar via the link given in the description below. So with this, we can enter into the topic we have in hand, which is Assam-Meghalaya border dispute. Before we go into the nitty-gritty of the topic itself, generally to understand the larger picture, we know that Meghalaya was carved out of Assam via the state reorganization in the 1970s. And since its inception, because of the problems of interpretation of the resolution and of the act itself, there have been border disputes specifically in 12 areas between Assam and Meghalaya, and over a period of time this has led to violence and tension. And in April we had one major breakthrough in which 6 out of the 12 were resolved, however 6 were left. And in the context of the phase 1 and phase 2 talks between Assam and Meghalaya, we saw that border dispute between states can be resolved if there is a give and take approach in that regard. However, yesterday what has happened is that 6 people were killed by the Assam Police in self-defense allegedly. Now what has happened is that the state border dispute again has become a major bone of contention and has now come to the limelight again. The concept is that the Assam Police had to fire because of a mob surrounding them. However, the 6 people being shot were Meghalayans, and therefore it has created a lot of tension. So just before the scheduled month-end talks on the second phase, we now have these police firings, and therefore there is now a little bit of gloom and concern that maybe this incident is going to overshadow the talks itself. But for your preparation and generally for UPSC, what is more important is the history and the concept of this dispute itself. So let's try to understand the larger story and the history itself. And Meghalaya was carved out in 1972 as per the Assam Reorganization Meghalaya Act of 1969, and since then there have been border disputes over specific sectors in the Garo Khasi Jaintia hills. And in 2011, Meghalaya government identified 12 areas, key areas of difference between Assam and Meghalaya over the dispute, which was close to 27,000 square kilometers. And both these states have a very long border with regards to 885 kilometers. And therefore, within these 885 kilometers, 12 areas which are problematic. A major bone of contention between them is the district of Langpi. Langpi in the West Garo Hills, bordering the Kamrup district of Assam, is where the real tension is, because Langpi was part of the Kamrup district during the British period. However, post independence it has gone into the Garo Hills of Meghalaya. So now there's a question, which is the right location of this district itself, and there is no historical proof which Meghalaya has been able to point out, and whatever Assam is pointing out is on British maps. So there's a lot of confusion and a lot of chaos with regards to this district and generally the sectors which we are going to discuss. So for the purpose of the examination, you need to understand that these are all colonial and post-colonial in nature, but tribal reorganization when happens in 1970s, 80s, Assam was a much bigger unit, and Meghalaya, when it is being carved out, the problem of demarcation is something which is a natural process of demarcation of borders. Therefore, it has now become a bone of contention, a little bit of an irritant between these two states. However, it is not that the story has only been gloomy or only negative. In April, Assam and Meghalaya ended the border dispute in 6 of the 12 sectors where the discord persisted, and this is based on the concept that we can go forward if we are ready to give and take. So some areas you take, some areas we take. So the April agreement had actually made sure that the next 6 would also get resolved. However, these police firings have now come just days before the next phase was going to go into negotiations, and the earlier agreement covered the Tarabari, Gizang, Hamin, Boklapara, Khanapara, the Ratachera under the Kamrup sector, Kamrup Metro, Kachar district of Assam, West Khasi Hills, Riboi and East Jaintia Hills of Meghalaya. Don't have to learn this, but basically the 6 sectors which were resolved previously were these ones. And by adopting and give and take approach, the 2 states were able to demonstrate that even knotty boundary issues can be resolved, maybe partially, by understanding that there needs to be a way forward, and give and take is something which can create a lot of cooperation. However, now the police firings are threatening the future, because at the end of the day this was something which was going towards a positive turn, and these police firings now have become a problematic aspect of this relationship. So before I end the session, just to give you a larger summary of this topic, how it is relevant for your preparation, state border disputes are something part and parcel of Indian federalism. And when we talk about Assam Meghalaya, because of tribal identity, it becomes more exaggerated. Assam was a much bigger unit in the colonial period and in the post-colonial period till 1970s, Meghalaya being carved out. However, that leads to border disputes in 12 sectors. Over a period of time, violence is there, and in April we were able to get a resolution in 6 of them. This issue is based on how you interpret the colonial maps, and in the end, with just 1 month left to the second phase of negotiations, we have an incident which is going to derail or at least overshadow the concept of that negotiation. So for our future understanding, firstly, border dispute between states can be resolved, give and take. This is a very important thing which you can use in the mains examination. And second is, now we need to see where this is going to go, because at the end of the day we know that these things persist and these issues and incidents are something which capture the imagination of people. So our statesmen have to show more courage and more commitment in order to transcend this basic incident. But there is a light in the end of the tunnel, and we believe that Assam and Meghalaya will be able to resolve their issues. So with this, I would like to end the session. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye.